Hey everybody, my name is Kartik Subramaniam. I'm a real estate entrepreneur here in Southern California. I'm the founder of a very large real estate education company. I absolutely love what I do. I have a passion for the business. I'm happy to have found it. Follow my journey here on YouTube. Hey everybody, Kartik Subramaniam over at ADHI Schools. Wanted to give a pretty interesting statistic for you. If I asked you to interview 100 people and ask them, would you rather upgrade the house that you live in, keep the house and upgrade it, add new flooring, remodel the kitchen, put on a new roof, whatever it is, or would you rather sell it and buy something else? What percentage would you say would prefer to stay in their home and simply renovate it or remodel it as opposed to buying a new house? Very interesting, right? So there's a recent study out, and I'll link it in the description box, that says 76% of all people surveyed in this recent study, it's kind of a housing aspirational study, 76% of all people surveyed would rather renovate their existing home rather than upgrade to an entirely new house. Now, for people over 55, the statistic is even higher. 87% of all people surveyed that were over 55 said that they would rather stay in the house that they're in and renovate or remodel the home that they're in as opposed to buying a new property. So very interesting that the vast majority of people, when surveyed, said that they'd rather renovate their existing home as opposed to selling it and buying an entirely new one. Now, there's a lot of factors at play here. Number one, if people are more likely and are going to prefer to stay in the house that they're in, we're going to have a supply issue of houses available for sale. That is, if everyone would rather just stay in the house that they're in, you're not going to have a lot of properties come on the market because people prefer to stay in their homes and remodel them as opposed to moving up and buying a new property. Now, think about what's going to happen. Generally, values are some interplay of supply and demand. So the more supply you have, the more houses come on the market, the more that will tend to either make prices flatten or come down as long as demand stays constant. So that is, if there's more houses on the market and the same amount of people want to buy a home, you're going to have prices come down, which I am a bear in this market. That is, I think that the real estate market is long overdue for a correction. Now, what might temper that correction is if fewer houses come on the market and supply is constrained because people just don't want to sell their homes. They like where they live. They just want to fix it up a little bit. You're going to have prices not fall as quick as they would otherwise come down, number one, because you have a supply constraint. The other thing here is that a lot of people's homes have gone up in value, but I think a lot of people are faced with that question of, okay, I bought my house for $500,000. It's worth $820,000. I got a lot of equity locked up in there. And I would love to tap into that and sell my house. But the question is, I'm going to have $300,000 in my pocket, but where am I going to go? What else am I going to buy? And when you buy another house, generally, there's some exceptions, but when you buy another house, you're going to have an increase in property taxes and all sorts of stuff. So this is an interesting time in the real estate market because if you argue that we're at some top of the market and we're due for a correction, if supply stays constrained and people don't want to put their homes on the market for sale, the market's not going to crash as quick as it would otherwise if all the houses, came on the market at once. But anyway, I'll put a link in the description box to the study on housing aspiration. And I'd love for you to leave a comment below. What do you think? Where you live? Would you want to sell your house and buy something else? Or would you just rather fix up the house that you're already in? I'd love to hear a comment from you below. If we haven't connected on Instagram, I'd love to get to know you on and offline. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of the content that our school puts out on a regular basis. And we'll catch you on the next video. Thanks.